Senator Mitch McConnell announcing today he's going to step down as Senate Republican leader in November. McConnell also saying he has no plans of going anywhere. His current Senate term ends in 2027. For more, we have Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman. So he's not quitting his job. He's leaving the leadership position. But, this is a pretty significant change.
Oh, yeah. He is the longest serving party leader in the Senate, I think in Senate history. He's 82 years old. So if he were the CEO of a public company, he probably would have retired by now, unless he was Warren Buffett, I guess. It's in the rest of the world outside of Washington, it's normal to give up your major responsibilities once you hit your 80s. And there's the other thing that's going on here, of course, is that Donald Trump looks like he's going to be the Republican nominee. Mitch McConnell does not like Donald Trump. He basically held his nose when Trump was president and was happy to shepherd through the tax cuts in 2017. But he really objected to a lot of other stuff relating to Donald Trump. And so, what this means in a practical sense is that if Trump would happen to win in November, Mitch McConnell is not going to be the guy Trump is calling, saying, here's what I want you to do in the Senate. It's going to be somebody else. So Mitch McConnell will probably be quite happy to escape that duty. But as you pointed out, Julie, he says he's going to serve out his term, which goes all the way until 2027.
And Rick, just switching gears here a bit, we're also getting results from President Biden's annual physical. Of course, Biden's health is an issue in this election. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Biden's doctor said he's an elderly man with a poor memory. Wait, I'm just kidding. That was the special counsel investigating Biden for classified documents. What Biden said today is that the results of his physical were the same as they were last year. And last year, the doctor said Biden is a vigorous and healthy 80-year-old man. So I guess Biden is now a vigorous and healthy 81-year-old man. Usually they'll put out a summary report, which I think if it's not out at this point, it'll come later today. But at least Biden's doctor seems to think he's fit to hold the office of president.
Something tells me the people who don't have a lot of faith in Biden's health won't put a lot of stock in the doctor's report. But, who knows, Rick?
Right.
We also had some more legal news on the President Trump front, a report that he might have to sell property to meet that $454 million payment. And this is a little complicated, right? Because there is a bond that he offered to give him a little more time, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Sort of. So Trump has appealed this court outcome, and this is not one of the four criminal cases. This is a civil lawsuit that has been going on in New York State. It was a lawsuit brought by the Attorney General of New York State. Trump lost before a judge, and the thing that happened recently is Trump lost last year, and then the judge recently said, well, here are the penalties and the fines you have to pay. And that amounted to, including interest, I think $454 million, just a huge amount of money. And that's on top of $5 million and then another $83 million that Trump is supposed to pay the writer Jean Carroll in that sexual assault and defamation suit. So Trump owes more than $500 million. And even though he claims to be a billionaire, his wealth is not in cash. It's almost all in assets such as buildings. So Trump is appealing the ruling on the $454 million, but he does have to put up a bond supposedly equal to that amount of money. Now, what Trump has said is, what if he just puts up a bond that's worth the equivalent of $100 million instead of the whole 454? We're not sure what the judge is going to say about that. And this is not a surprise, because people who've looked at Trump's finances say he does not have this much cash sitting around. And then he may actually have to liquidate assets in order to if he has to pay this entire amount of the fine. So that means Trump would probably have to sell properties. And I think he's indicating, that looks like what might have to happen here.